Hey, everybody, it's Monday for us, but still Tuesday for you. Welcome to December 9th for us, 10th for you. Welcome to Giant Bombcast, episode 870. This week, we're powered by beef, and not beef with each other or anyone, but beef products. That's right, the beefiest man in video games, our own co-captain of the ship, Jeff Grubb.
Yeah, I'm a T-bone steak over here, absolutely. You can never cook me right, but I'm a big slab of meat.
That's right. Speaking about big slabs of meat, we got the other meatiest man in games media, Dan Reichert.
Agree about the Grubb beef. I was talking to Mike Mahardy last night, and Mike even gave it up that he thinks Grubb might be able to take him in a fight. He said you had that like Midwestern dad strength and stuff. And
I want you to tell him this. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said about me.
I will. I'll let him know.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I forgot to introduce myself. I'm the prime rib, not the prime rib. I'm the ribeye of this cast, Janichoa, and the bad boy of games media. He's got beef with beef itself. Beef on beef on beef. Mike Minotti.
Don't buy a rib roast, everybody. That's a waste of money. Just
You guys
buy
like
some individual steaks.
what kind of ribs y'all like? Is it pork ribs or beef ribs?
Oh, pork.
I
love
right?
beef short ribs are incredible, but that's a very different experience than eating a slab of pork ribs.
I don't like eating ribs. I like eating the ends of ribs because they don't have bones in them. As much of a barbecue guy as I am, I'm not going to get my hands all messy. I'm not going to try to figure out how to get all the meat off the bone here. I will
figure out
meat I can eat.
I'm very finicky about this sort of thing, and yet for ribs, I will do it. I hate getting messy while eating.
Yeah.
I don't
This
like it.
This doesn't surprise me coming from the guy who wishes that the restaurant would cut his steak for him.
They still do. Well, that's kind of what they do with burn ends, and burn ends are way better than ribs. If ribs are presented to me, I will eat them and I will enjoy them, but I will never order them when there are other more convenient options on the menu.
Do you have the same feeling with chicken wings?
Yeah, I fucking started the entire. Remember the Team Boneless thing from all those years ago? That was me and Tim Turry. We got into an argument at Game Informer about it, and I started tweeting a bunch about it. Then I started tweeting a bunch of wrestlers being like, "Hey, Gangrel, are you #Team Boneless?" And then fucking Greg Miller stole that shit.
He ruined it. Yeah.
That was my thing. KFC acknowledged that I started that. They sent Game Informer a whole bounty of their boneless chicken because my Team Boneless thing won, and the Colonel gave a back of the box quote.
Colonel?
The shoot Colonel?
Yeah, I've got it here. Air Force Gator 2. Look, this is literally on the back of Air Force Gator 2. The Colonel proudly welcomes Air Force Gator into the Colonel's army for his insatiable love of boneless chicken. That is the Colonel said that. That is a shoot.
I'll forget the other thing I was going to ask you then, Dan. I don't know how you can follow up Team Boneless.
Yeah. So I'm good with boneless chicken wings.
Okay.
Boneless wings are way worse for you than normal wings, though, right?
Oh, none of them are good for you.
Well, they're worse because that breading is basically mostly fat. It's like
it's not like carrots versus lard. They're both just fried chicken.
I worked at a wing place, and I was like, I think I had some drink that was like clearly like, oh, this is like some dieting thing, right? And I was a delivery guy, and I like was sitting down eating my wings that I got on every shift. And they were like the regular wings, and they're like, you're trying to lose weight, but you're still eating wings. It's literally like the worst thing you could be eating across the board, no matter what.
Most things fried with food, but I still think a thing fried with breading is worse for you than a thing fried without breading. Breading is just fat.
Yeah. Sure.
What are those kinds of? What are those fries? They're not like Cajun fries, but it tastes like they have a breading to it.
You mean like ones at Popeyes?
No, not at Popeyes. Similar.
Beer batter fries?
They're like cousins to the Popeye fries.
Oh.
And you can only get them at like kind of like not shitty establishments, but like, this is like a weird hole in the wall. Or it's like this is like hotel fries or something.
I think I know what you're talking about. There is like a flaky outer crust to them. I think they're more like thicker, like steak fry type gimmicks, you know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're the kinds of like you'll find in the frozen food aisle, I think. Yeah,
sure. Like an Ore-Ida probably makes one.
Yeah.
Ooh, an Ore-Ida.
You know what? I learned recently Ore-Ida, Oregon, Idaho.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's where they're growing the potatoes they use for Ore-Ida potatoes.
Oh,
what do you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Fascinating.
Okay. Well, see, folks, who says you never learn anything from listening to a video game podcast? And some would say that this is the #1 video game podcast on the internet.
Many people are saying.
Many people are saying that. People are also saying like, wow, this collection of 4 dudes behind microphones on a podcast. I think this might be the hottest and smartest group of them, actually.
That's right.
That's what they're saying.
That's right.
Many people agree.
The Colonel is also saying this. It's going to be on the back of the box.
I got to catch up with the Colonel. It's been a while.
Yeah, for real. Bring him up.
I was going to be the face of the double down sandwich. It was taken away from me.
I remember that story. That's what a travesty, Dan. I'm so
it's
sorry.
an alternate path where I'm a big commercial dude. I'm the where's the beef of the 2010s.
Greg Miller's thing was like he was like all about the bone-in wings, right? Like that was
because I remember around that time I lived in San Francisco, and me and Miller went to an APW wrestling show together, and then we went to a Buffalo Wild Wings after. And I remember being like at the height of this, and we made a point of like, I'm going to order boneless, and he's going to order bone in, and they're both good. It turns out I was working it.
I like them both. Fried chicken's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a weird week here at giantbomb.com since we're pre-recording this. We're actually in the air now, traveling to Los Angeles for the Game Awards, but also before the Game Awards, Wednesday, Jeff Grubb, we're going to have a bunch of people lined up for you to talk to on the video game couch.
At GB at night, 5 p.m. Pacific time is when the first section will kick off. We'll have a bunch of fun friends on the couch, a lot of familiar faces, a lot of catching up with old friends. Like to be like, hey, you were on the couch a little bit ago, let's do it again. Some new people. It's going to be a good time. Well, then for the last panel, we'll all get together, hang out on the couch. It'll be fun.
Presented by Warframe 1999. Shouts out to them. Also, and then we are participating in GameSpot's countdown to the Video Game Awards show, or the Game Awards show, where you two will have some fun little segments.
You?
Yes.
I just got out of a meeting where I had to be adamant that, like, no, this cannot be a prop sandwich. This needs to be a shoot sandwich. So to give you a sense of the meetings I've been having lately. Yeah.
How many lines from the Norm Macdonald YouTube comedy show pre-show are you going to work into this?
I'm just saying, if I don't at least once, if you don't hear me say all the stars are here, I should retire.
Literally in the script.
I wrote it into the script and no one has said anything about it. And even if we can take it out, I'm fucking saying it.
Yeah.
I say that line so much. Almost daily and mentally daily now, because I like that the voter choice list for the Game Awards came out. It's like a lot of gotcha games and stuff, and I literally thought all the stars are here.
It's like likely going to be like the first thing I say.
The Content Creator of the Year award. Yeah, I was like, I don't know any of these names.
I think we should all three of us, because I think I might wind up on camera at some point. We should all jim the camera or we should all mic the camera for Mike.
Oh,
okay.
Yes.
At some point.
Mitch the camera,
just Mitch the camera. Just.
Now I know I'm not a part of this, but what happens if I show up?
You could maybe be one of the my man on the street segments, and you could play "Are You Smarter Than a Games Journalist?"
No.
If one of the people drops out.
No, I disagree. It's going to be like that one Hall of Fame where they had to put up pictures of Scott Steiner saying, "Don't let this man in here because he threatened to kill Hulk Hogan."
We should just on our own. We should make signs that just have Mike's face with the cross through them, so we get a Garfield picture of like him saying, "I wonder who that's for."
Can I do a cooking segment with Dan and just be like, "Get in there,
get in there."
we could do that. We could do that on the couch, maybe. Maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Mike, I do have a traveling question. Let's say we end up on a flight together. What is the etiquette you want me to follow if we're sitting separate and I get off the plane before you? Where do you want me to wait for you?
I can't believe I have to say it. Just I don't know, outside of the gate somewhere. Where the people walk by. There's all those seats there. You could take a seat if you wanted to.
If I do that and then you immediately say, "Oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom," I'm gonna be mad at you. I just want you to know.
Well, of course I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
Well, then why would I wait by the I'll just go wait and we'll catch up at the bag claim. I think this is perfectly acceptable behavior.
The bag claim is
insane. If you
insane.
It still feels so far away.
But it's like we know we have to be there. He's going to go to the bathroom. I don't have to go to the bathroom. I'm supposed to wait there for this child.
You know what? I'm going to say it. I love Ribbon Minotti a lot, but I think I'm with him on this one.
Yeah.
If I'm getting off a plane with someone, let's both tinkle and then we'll walk the bag claim together.
I don't got to tinkle.
Just wait. The thing is, he's not taking a 20-minute shit. Like,
I remember after leaving PAX East this year, I realized Snowbike Mike and I were on the same plane, and we didn't get there together. We didn't travel together. And then I thought, Should I wait for Mike? I don't know. I don't see him.
For Mike.
Wait, let me finish. And then I start walking, and I start walking slowly, and I stop to tie my shoe. And next thing I know, behind me, he's like, "Hey, dude, thank you for waiting for me, brother."
Well, that's still like Mike.
You do a good job, like Mike.
Best friend you've known for 13 years.
It's all right.
You should have seen me standing around the asshole, being like, I thought he got up before me, but I don't see him here, so I don't know.
Did you go into the bathroom and just go, Jeff? Jeff?
You've held on to this for like 6 months.
No, he yelled at me right away.
I don't forget what I could. If I deem something to be a social slight that a friend performs against me,
Mike?
I have a friend who Irish goodbye me 10 years ago, and I still give her shit about it almost like once a month.
Yeah,
you'll hang out with a guy who throws his poop at the toilet.
Yeah,
Mike. If anything, get back at Grub. Work up this whole thing about waiting for each other, and you meet him at baggage claim.
And I will be like, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah,
at first you won't care.
Like, yeah, we're both grown men. We're going to get to where we're going. This is fine.
All right. And yet again, I booked my flight way too early. I don't know why I decided. The thing is, the flight is only 1 hour for me, but I decided I need to get there first thing in the morning.
Yeah, Jan, we were sharing in Discord earlier our times. I think you and I are getting there way earlier than the Ohio boys here.
Oh, I'm getting there like at 8. Damn.
Oh, what the fuck? Okay.
I don't. I'm a broken person.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
There are plenty of work to do, so I'm sure they'll put you to work if you show
well,
up.
That's okay. I might just hang around for a bit. Video games. We're all going to be leaving home for about a week, recording some content. So Grub, I guess are you preparing by playing this game called Home Safety Hotline?
Yes, definitely. I've been doing that. This game's interesting. It is one of these Windows 95 games, right? Where it's like the interface, the UI is all like you are just clicking around in a computer in a Windows 95 environment. So you get big, bulky windows with big, chunky buttons and things like that. And you are someone who works at the Home Safety Hotline. And what happens is you click on your email, you check your email, then you click on the app to start the day so you can start getting calls from people who are having home safety issues of a bunch of different varieties. And what happens is they call, and it's basically a voice recording, just like one paragraph. You put them on hold, and then you go through a list of possible things it could be, like termites and carpenter ants and a house fire, or all kinds of different things, moles, things like that. And you need to, based on what they're saying, like I'm hearing scratching in the walls, and but I don't see any droppings or something like that. So you need to like cross-reference the symptoms they're giving with these issues so you can give them the proper packet of information so they can deal with it. Now, that's day one. By day two, suddenly you're getting like a bunch of stuff on day one is like blacklisted from your list of possible problems. It's like, just like, this is not accessible. By day two, you're getting things like, okay, here's some people might start calling in about these issues, and it'll be like a pipe hob. And a pipe hob is a little creature who lives in your pipes and eats all the hair and stuff that goes down the pipe and stuff like that. And they're mostly harmless, but if you mess with them, they'll metamorphosize into a bogart. So you don't want to mess with them like that. And it's like, you need to try to give them the correct information as they start coming up with these more insane issues. And sometimes people won't believe you, and they won't put the cream out for the house elf. And if they don't do that, then the thing will metamorphosize into the bogart, and you need to now tell them, okay, now you need to just leave the house, and you can't ever speak its name, things like that. So it's a pretty cool thing. I'm enjoying
that sounds
quite a
pretty
bit.
good. I'm very intrigued. Yeah,
it's definitely like a it's not as complicated as what was the Dream Windows 95 game I can never remember the name of.
Dream one?
The one where you were you could be in the computer
interface. Outlaw?
Yes, Hypnospace Outlaw. Yes. It's not as robust as that, its interface, but it's in the same spectrum. And I really enjoy the fact that people are calling in, and if you get things wrong, people will call back and yell at you and things like that. It's pretty well done. This is one of these indie games I heard as these Game of the Year lists are starting to come out, and I saw it on NPR, and a bunch of people are talking about it there. And I tried it out. It's on Steam. I'm pretty happy with it.
This came out way early in the year, January.
Yes.
Jeez.
January.
That's back when we were all playing Prince of Persia, probably.
Yes.
Yakuza.
They did release some DLC, it seems like, and I think it was free, but it's Seasonal Worker, and it's Christmas themed, and that's out now, and you can play that as part of this game.
Oh, and
Nice.
maybe with like that. Oh, yeah, look at that. Ooh, there's not enough Christmas themed games. So
Mike, have you been in Nuketown Holiday?
I did. I got to play it once, so that was very exciting.
Nuketown's very festive right now.
The prop up on it was fun because you even like the props are kind of Christmassy. Like you could be a wreath or what have you.
Well, I played that once. I don't think I like prop hunts.
Really?
No?
I thought that would be so your thing.
I like the idea. The idea is very funny, but then when I went in there and it's just like, first of all, I hate any mode where I can't just respawn. Like that's the thing with Call of Duty for me. It's like boom, 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 boom. I'm back in there. So like I turn off search and destroy. I turn off all those where I can't just respawn immediately. Yeah, I need to go. Whereas like prop hunt is like, okay, I died at the beginning and now I just have to watch people shoot at traffic cones for 5 minutes. Like I can't do that.
But it was such a. I was playing my bros, my friend. There's such a thrill. Like I had to run away at one point. And like I was given an ambulance. I was in an entire ambulance, right? And I was at the soccer stadium one. So I'm this car just on a street, and they're all looking for a prop. And they're literally like circling me, shooting at things, but not me. It was a very special kind of experience. But Jeff, this game does look like something I'd enjoy. I love the Windows 95 aesthetic. Boy, that just calls to me in an incredibly powerful way.
Were we all, Jan's definitely not, but Grub and Minotti, are you old enough to like remember, like, you started on 3.1 and then when like, oh my God, the start button.
I started on DOS. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Like 95 was crazy. All the start me up commercials and
Yep.
Yeah. By the time I really cared about or was like able to use computers, Windows 95 was very new. And like I remember going to a friend's house since they were still on Windows 3. So like I was aware of the previous Windows, but Windows 95 is just really where my computer experience starts.
Yeah. I was DOS, and then getting like an early 386 or a 486 computer with Windows 3.1 and using that for a while, and then just Windows 95 was the biggest event ever. Yes. And Chandler Bing was selling it to me in a commercial or whatever. So yeah, it was a good time.
God, I need to find a book just about Windows 95, not like about all of Windows, just Windows 95. Yeah. Oh, so good.
We had Windows 3.1, but then like some of the games like Doom and Wolfenstein and all that stuff that could actually run on my stepdad's computer, you'd have to like open up the DOS command line to get to it. And I distinctly remember when people started talking about the internet at school and be like, this sounds cool. I really want to get on the internet, spending hours being like, okay, I see commercials now. They're saying go to www.zoop.com and you can play a demo of Zoop.
Yeah.
And so I'd be like going to the MS-DOS command line, being like, it says www.zoop. Like, we're not plugged in. We don't have a modem. Like, and I had no idea how this works. Like, I can't play Zoop.
Why isn't it working?
I just want to play Zoop for free. The same thing when I got the Dreamcast, and it's like I had all of EGM and everything was like, it's online. It's like, oh, that's going to be awesome. And I'm just assuming day one, I'm going to go home and pop Soul Calibur in and I can just play online. And it's like, oh, wait, no, there has to be functionality and you have to plug in the line. It's like, yeah, I could not do that at all.
Yeah, it's that aesthetic. So that just speaks to me. So like whenever I see that stuff in a game, I zoom to it, and this does a good job of that. So, but nice. We should do another one of those demo derbies with one of those old mid '90s CDs.
Oh, that one you did with the PC stuff was awesome. I would love another one of those.
Yes, y'all should have the youngins on that one next time. Even just
that would be awesome.
Sitting co-op.
That'd be great. Yes.
Would your kids even know what to do with Windows 11? Like, I feel like kids today don't really have to deal with desktop computers if they don't want to.
Emmy's asking for a PC for Christmas. I don't know if that's just her being like, I see you on one all the time. They definitely have computer class at school, but I wonder if they're mostly on Mac. Because that's
how are they all playing Roblox stuff? Is that on phones?
That's
phones,
on Xbox
iPads.
And phones, tablets. Yeah, it's on everything.
That was like the only time I was ever exposed to Apple stuff was like the school computers.
Same.
Some schools will have
Apple stuff.
Chromebooks too. So
yeah,
maybe
that's right. There's a lot of Chromebooks and stuff. When I was a kid, it was all Macintosh at school, and then at home after the Macintosh came out, we got an Apple II actually before we got the 386.
I kind of like see. My dad had some kind of computer when I was a kid, and I don't really know what it was, probably some IBM thing, and I just remember asking him to play Jeopardy and some Flintstones game he on. And again, me and the Flintstones. Apparently, I was more of a Flintstones fan than I remember.
We bought ours for like used, and so it just came with a bunch of like illegally copied games, and there would be like BC, like I think the comic strip had a game or something like that.
BC, hell
wow, yeah, and like Olympics games and things like that, and I would just plug that in. It was a monochrome black and green screen, so it wasn't even a color.
I'm in such like an old computer mood. I've been watching so many videos about like Ultima 1.
Yeah, I finished that book. That book was really good. The Innovators, that was an excellent read. Yeah.
You think the youth or like the gimmicks will have an interest in, I guess, the progression of like OSs like that?
It's not as easily like there are ways you can do it. There's like DOSBox and stuff like that, but I feel like it's not as easy as like, oh, I want to play an old NES game. There's a million ways to do that very easily. Whereas like OSs, you kind of have to do a little more digging.
Yeah.
And I think like going forward, like Windows 11 is a lot like Windows 10, which was actually a lot like what was before 10, Vista,
XP or 2000
XP, then Vista, right?
Yeah, there's just a Windows 8.
There was an 8.
There was an 8. Was that after Vista?
And they skipped 9. Yeah.
Yes, that's what it was.
8. It was 8 to 10.
Yeah, 8 to 10. Yeah.
Did iPhone do that too?
7 also.
I don't think iPhone did it.
They went to 3G. Then I remember an iPhone 5.
There was a 4. I had a 4.
For some reason, like the companies didn't like the number 9.
I think Windows skipped 9. I think because one of the early versions of Windows was like Windows 0.9x or something like that. So they're like just internally, it was easier for them. I think there's something along those lines. That's not exactly right, but it's something along that.
All these things are all eventually all just copies of each other, just like the game that Mike and I have been playing may be a copy of another popular video game. Marvel Rivals. Mike Minotti, I heard the dirt on the street. The Minotti brothers were tearing up the scene with Christian, Sean, and Nikki.
Yeah, we were having fun playing that. I've been playing a bit of it on my own. It's insane how many characters I've launched with this game.
33.
I cannot fathom.
Gate.
Yeah,
that's pretty wild as a starting
Free
roster.
to play
and it's a very
as well.
nice mix of standbys, like who you would expect to be there, like your Captain Americas and Hulks and Spider-Mans. There's some deeper cuts, like people I'm not super familiar with, like that Shark
Jeff the Shark.
Shark from right? Gwenpool, you said, Jam? Was that what it was? Yeah.
Gwenpool, and then Jeff has grown into other comic book properties. Yeah, the Ice Lady I'm not familiar with.
Apparently she was an OC, not for this game, but for a different Marvel game who became popular, I guess.
Like a mobile game, maybe?
I don't know.
She's supposed to be like a K-pop idol, so maybe it is a mobile game.
I bet it's that Marvel. Yeah, there's a game that my sister-in-law plays and has played for years. She's a huge Marvel fan. And I bet it's that game.
Hey, this is pretty fun. It's definitely scratching that Overwatch itch. I liked Overwatch a lot for a long time and kind of slowly began falling off it once 2 came out, and don't have too much of a desire to go back. They even did that throwback mode not too long ago, and I was like, I'll check that out, and then I just never did. I just don't really want to open Overwatch at the moment. But doing this, it's enough like Overwatch that I understand what's going on, but everything is different. Like I don't know what these heroes do, and it's fun figuring out what they do. And since it's Marvel, I can just be like, well, I like Captain America, so I guess I'll play as him for a while.
Sure.
That's what I do. And he has a pretty interesting moveset where, right, like he's melee mostly, but if he attacks people twice with his melee attack, then he throws the shield for a bit. And since he's a tank, you can kind of, you can get in there and attack him twice, and then
get in there.
You can sort of throw the shield as you're retreating back to your group. So, it all works out pretty well. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I played a little bit with Nikki after y'all did, and it was pretty fun just jumping into a bunch of random characters and getting absolutely stomped in the first round, actually learning the abilities and synergies in the second round, winning that one, and then the other team further learning their characters and then stomping you again. But the interesting thing that Marvel Rivals does is some of the heroes, if they're paired up with another specific hero or group of heroes, will have these passive abilities or even active abilities that will only happen if they get paired up. So, for instance, the Incredible Hulk, if he gets paired up with Wolverine, they can do the fastball special where Wolverine will get picked up by Hulk, and then Hulk will just launch that bad boy somewhere across the map. Other stuff is, I think, like Rocket Raccoon can ride on Groot if they're on the same team.
That one's pretty cool. Yeah, because like it's literally, like the thing in the movie, just literally on Groot's shoulder.
Yeah. I am really digging this game. I was thinking at first that some of the heroes would just be one-for-one recreations of the miscellaneous Overwatch heroes. And there are some of those, but I think that Marvel Rivals does enough different with the abilities and the fact that there's a lot of melee characters in this versus any heroes with guns, because like Venom is just shooting his tentacles and like Groot is just reloading his arms after doing like a longer like swipe. And I can't stop.
He's the Henry Cavill of the game for sure. Yeah.
He's the Henry Cavill of this game. He's just like cocking his arms over and over again, just beating you with bathroom sinks. But like like Mike said, there's so many characters, so I think it's pretty easy to find someone you like and then stick with them. And then as soon as you get tired, you can roll on to the next character. I think the support characters are also really well done. Sometimes support characters can be a little too boring, or because you kind of just have to have like that medic beam all the time on someone and just focus on that. With Jeff the Shark specifically, you have like a water beam that you can use to heal, but you can also leave these like little bubbles around the area for your friendlies to pick up. And Jeff currently has the best / most annoying ult in the world, where you can, in an AoE, swallow every single person, including your friendly teammates, swallow them, and then as Jeff the Shark, you can just like street shark through the level and then spit them out wherever you want. And sometimes that can be very hazardous because there's a lot of open air in some of these maps. So you could even just exactly, you could spit them through a ledge. And if you don't want to do that, you could just Kirby style in Smash, take them and obliterate a whole team. I'm also very pleased that for as chatty as the characters are, they're not super annoying, or at least they haven't come off as super annoying just yet. However, every time I do hear Bucky goes again and again when he's doing his like jumping launch attack, is kind of getting grating. But my one big problem, y'all,
they're too hot.
Where's Cyclops? What the fuck?
Look, they gotta hold some back, because look, they're gonna be releasing a lot of characters as this
game goes on. They are.
I was just gonna ask: is the number of characters sort of freeing in a way? Because it's like, if it was 16 characters, I probably should learn all of them pretty well, so I can always be ready to counter them. But 33, you're probably going to be playing against a lot of people who are also thinking the same thing, which is, whatever, that's too many to learn. I'm just going to go in there and have some fun.
Yeah.
The other thing that sorry, Mike, go ahead.
I was just going to say, it is interesting how already you do see a lot of the same characters, right? Jeff is very popular.
Mm-hmm.
He's always, of course, popping up around there. I've been seeing Wolverine a good bit. Groot also.
Groot is very popular.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So there's usually a Spider-Man because they like Spider-Man, and then they realize that character is very hard to play and they die a lot. Right. But I think you're kind of right, Jeff. It's funny because because there's so many characters, I'm almost more inclined to just be playing Captain America.
Right. Exactly.
I'm just gonna keep being Cap. That's fine.
Go ahead, Jan. No,
having like the bigger amount of people, it's interesting because in my limited time with Overwatch, I always got heat from people for not playing the class that we needed on a team. Here, at least in the early stages, people kind of care about team comp a little less, at least in the first couple rounds. And then someone will realize, okay, we might need a healer or some type of support or some type of tank. So someone might switch, but you can kind of get by just having a hodgepodge team.
Yeah, I think it's also just going to help that Overwatch very quickly, like from the beginning, they were like, and this is the next great esport. And there's none of that here.
No.
There's none of that here. So it's like when you go in to play Overwatch for those first couple of years, it's like, well, you got to play like the esports people play. Like they're making the game for them. We got to play like them. So that I think this game's also free of that.
The one thing I've been struggling with a little bit is the stability of the game. I've been getting disconnected from games, struggling to connect to games, things like that. And I mean, I think a lot of that is just because this game is very popular very quickly. So their servers are just getting Hulk smashed right now. You see, I tied.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah,
well
good,
done.
good. Right now, also, since a lot of people are still in the discovery phases of the game, I will have, when I switch characters to someone else, I'll have that moment of like, well, I can do that. Like, I didn't realize Rocket can just kind of like climb onto walls like a Spider-Man or Venom can. A lot of fun discovery. Also, there's so much room for cosmetics that I haven't engaged yet with any of the microtransactions or any of the paid stuff yet, but there's so much room for so many more characters, and it's gonna hurt me. Like they're gonna drop the Fantastic Four pack when that movie comes out.
Oh,
they're gonna drop like the like X-Men First Class bunch, right? So they'll have Cyclops, that'll have Jean Grey. You already have Storm.
I haven't put Deadpool in yet. You know, they're holding that one in their back pocket.
Oh yeah. Oh god, Nightcrawler would be so fucking cool.
Oh, Nightcrawler would be amazing. Oh, Nightcrawler's so good. Nightcrawler, we don't have Gambit.
We don't have Gambit.
X-Men yet.
But rest assured, folks, we have Squirrel Girl, and let me tell you, Squirrel Girl actually very fun to play.
Everyone got mad at me when I made that comment about Squirrel Girls being popular, and here we go. Here we are now.
Oh my god!
You know what? Mike, you're the one that's brave enough to say these things that need to be said. You know, that's what it is. That because you're so whip smart and everything. And speaking about whips,
nice.
Where's this going?
Nice.
Oh god, there was someone added another game, and now we gotta maybe talk about.
I'm sorry,
that
it's not even a game either.
Fine, we'll talk about that first, and then I'll go back to my.
No, he had the whole segue.
I better make this fast, Jeff, because I don't care.
No, because I saw that and I thought, like, all right, we only got 3 things to talk about. Then we'll just save the bigger game for the end.
Damn it, Jeff! This is why we like that shark more than you.
Ginky Save Point is a little SSD that you could plug into your Steam Deck. That they.
My god!
Listen, I didn't know he was going to do it. I didn't know he was going to undo his incredible fucking segue to put me on the spot like this. Anyway, it's really cute. It looks like an old memory card for like a PlayStation or something, and it comes with a 2 terabyte SSD, and it's really really super fast. So you could
that actually sounds sick.
You could, and it does a cool thing where it comes with a little magnetic ring that you can stick to the back of your Steam Deck, so it's like super low profile. But then when it's time to like actually use it, you can then just magnetize that thing to the back, and I kind of don't even notice it. It's pretty neat. Now, it's not as sleek looking as if it were like, you know, plastic molded to fit the Steam Deck or something like that. But it's got a really like good cable that comes with it, so it can be super fast. I'm thinking that I might try to install Windows on this and mess around with the Steam Deck with Windows.
Okay.
I'm also thinking about maybe doing Batocera, which is that like retro gaming emulator OS that is very popular that people install on old PCs and things like that. And you could just put it on a drive, plug it into an old PC, boot from that drive, and it just turns your PC into like an old video game utopia. I might try something like that as well. But I'm also like looking for suggestions, like, hey, what can I do with this 2 terabyte drive to mess around with? So if people have ideas, I would love to just test a bunch of things with this thing.
I like Ginky stuff. I am curious about this. That sounds fun.
They
have like really good like Switch stuff, like the covert dock and all that.
Let me go get it real quick so you guys can take a look at it.
I like it.
Okay,
yeah,
great.
Okay. God, now
this asshole.
This whole time he's not even wearing socks right now.
Ew, he's showing us his feet.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh. For
Going
folks
into his
listening,
abyss back there.
for folks listening to the audio, Grub is just cartwheeling back to his dark hole to find
That is
something.
impressive, actually. Let's see it.
Okay.
Jeff.
All right. Oh.
Okay.
It's kind of got that.
It's kind of like it feels like a MagSafe charger for folks.
Yeah. So this
trying to
is this
visualize.
magnetic ring. I just stuck to it, and it just sticks like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so you just throw it in a bag or whatever when you're not using it. But then when you are using it, it just secures. It's really nice and tight on there, and I really like.
It's like a medical device, but for your Steam Deck.
I was like, I'm trying to place exactly what memory card style they're going for here. Like, was this?
Looks like a lighter.
Looks like a third-party PS1 memory card.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking as well. Like PS1, but I'm like, it's not. It's the PS1s were like the gray sort of.
Yeah, there's some like video editors that will have like a pocketable SSD that kind of looks like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's one of those 2230 SSDs, which are the little tiny ones, not the longer ones, but the tiny ones. So if you want to replace it in there, but it came with a 2 terabyte, which is big enough. That's pretty sizable. So I'm gonna be using that like for a bunch of things. But I think in the meantime, it's like, hey, when I want to put new games on the Steam Deck, instead of going through the hassle of using the desktop mode, I'm just gonna plug this thing in my computer, pop it on that, and then use that to transfer it quickly onto the Steam Deck directly.
Options for the Xbox 360 launch was nothing or 20 gigabytes, and now this stupid thing that's magnetically stuck to your Steam Deck is 2 terabytes.
Yes, exactly. It's things have changed. Yeah.
Grub, does that thing get hot at all?
It has not gotten too hot so far, but I've not like put it through its paces or anything like that either.
It's not so hot.
I see. So it's not hot enough to perhaps melt faces, but a game that can. There we go. I was not listening to Grub the whole time. Waiting for the segue.
Looking for the opening.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Dan, Grub, I believe you've been playing it. Mike, have you had a chance to dip into
No, I'm waiting.
Indie?
I'm waiting till after Game Awards, so I'm indie list at the
I'm in the same boat as you, Mike.
I feel like, Grub, from talking to you, we're probably roughly around the same spot, right? Like a little past Egypt?
A little bit past Giza, yes. And boy, does it get fucking awesome.
Really? Okay, because I'm like literally like, I'm at the tail end of Giza, so I haven't departed. So do I have fun stuff ahead of me?
All right, cool. So how are you feeling about it now?
I like it a lot. I mean, I've liked it from the beginning, even early on when you were like Discording me like, I hate this game, fuck this game. I was like, hang on, this is really fun. Oh shit, I wasn't supposed to say that. Yeah.
All right. That was between us.
Sorry. Yeah, you said don't say this. Oh yeah, I'm reading it now. Don't say this publicly. But shit. Okay.
I hate the people that made this game. Yeah.
No, I was with you on the kind of pacing issue stuff, specifically with the Vatican, because at first I was enjoying it so much. I was like, I want to do everything in the Vatican. And then it's like, I was there for like hours in the Vatican and I was still enjoying it and like was doing things very well. But I was like, man, I am kind of itching to like, these environments are so detailed. Like if you played, the Machine Games, Wolfenstein games, they put so much detail into every like little shop or area you go through. There's a lot of care that goes into everything. Like the Sistine Chapel is in this, like fully recreated.
You just stumble into it too. Like I didn't know I was going to the Sistine Chapel, and then suddenly I'm like literally looking up at the ceiling, going, "Holy shit!"
It's like, it's awesome. That thing from the Jericho KO Festival of Friendship painting. Yeah, okay.
Are you a Catholic now, Jeff?
Yeah, they turned me Catholic. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I did get a little tired of like, I was enjoying all the side quests and stuff, and then it was just like another one where it's just like, oh, okay, it's a nun that needs a book, and I'm, kind of going across the map to get a book. And like, it's not unenjoyable. No, I like being in the space and just like all the little interactions you have as you go from place to place. Lots of little stealth encounters and lots of collectibles and stuff to get. And if you want to read everything, there's a million little notes and letters and things, or you can just collect it, get your adventure points, level up, whatever. But I did kind of like get to the point where I was like, all right, I've done a good amount of fetch quests. I feel like I've seen this entire space several times over now, and I was ready to move forward. Now, and I don't know if there is eventually a way to open it up where it's like, I can jump on the blimp and go back to Vatican or not.
Someone mentioned to me that you can go back. I've not seen that yet, though.
Well, I'm assuming you can, because I saw in there's like that in-game manual you can look at, and it said something about the differences between like mysteries and discoveries and stuff like that. And one of them was like, these will span multiple locations. So that makes me think at some point I'm going to get some mode of transportation where I can like hop back and get clues and stuff. So
that makes sense.
And it didn't say something like, make sure you've done everything you want to do in the Vatican before you get on this blimp. So like, I'm assuming I'll get to go back.
Yeah, good point.
But yeah, a little bit of pacing issue stuff, but I don't think there's any problem with just like when you're ready to move on to the next area. And I'm just so impressed with how much the just direction of this game, like the cutscenes, it just feels like you're watching an Indiana Jones movie, and everything you're doing.
So
Yeah, it feels like, it's Wolfenstein was an FPS. And this, I was kind of thinking like, okay, FPS developer, first person indie game. All right, going to run around, shoot some Nazis and stuff like that. No, it's a different type of game. It feels like you are Indiana Jones. There's a lot of like, using your whip to cross, chasms and stuff. And then a lot of, holding the torch underneath a church and a catacomb and like waving scorpions away and stuff. Like it feels like an indie movie. More so than, I didn't see 5, but more than like Crystal Skull did, certainly. This feels like,
ask, like, does this feel like a better indie experience than Dial of Destiny did? Which
doubt.
was better than 4, but still wasn't.
I do need to see it. I need to see Dial because
I liked Dial of Destiny, and this is definitely like, this is what they should be doing instead. Okay. They should be the follow-ups to Indiana Jones going forward. Should just be them contracting Troy Baker to do 3 or 4 more of these, and I would be so excited.
Pay Harrison Ford.
Yep.
Yeah. Pay Harrison for the likeness, and then Troy does an excellent job as Harrison Ford.
I was very curious
how good he is. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my number one prediction for a sequel is that there's like a stinger. There's some part at the end where we see old Harrison Ford actually just doing a bit there. They'll have money at that point to pay him. Assuming this game's a hit. It'll be weird this game isn't a hit, right?
Seems like it's doing all right.
Yeah.
But you're right. We'll see. It's still coming to PlayStation in a couple months, so it'll get another chance at that point.
How did that last movie do box office wise?
It disappointed.
Not great, bad.
It was like didn't make nearly enough money that they were expecting.
Well, no, I'm curious if like the name Indiana Jones still carries a lot of.
Well, I think this game seems to be reestablishing the Indiana Jones name. Like it's like bringing people in the way that the movies were not.
I've been wondering lately, though, about like the legacy of Indiana Jones, if it is as strong as I thought it was growing up. Because like in my head growing up, it was like on par with Star Wars.
Same,
and it wasn't until when I was doing the New Day podcast and I put together a best action movie of all time tournament. And even when I was like sharing with the New Day, rest in peace, New Day, what movies were going to be in, I put Indiana Jones, and I think it was like Big E or something. That was like, what the fuck? No one cares about Indiana Jones. It's like, what?
So,
like Indiana Jones is huge. Like
what
none of them
I've
cared
been
about
learning in recent years is that perhaps Indiana Jones was a bit of a white person thing.
That might explain why I have no fondness for it either.
Okay, I'm putting some pieces together.
Okay. Basically, all of my friends that
I'm like the New Day.
been making in recent years who aren't white, they don't seem to care about Indiana Jones very much.
Okay, hold on. Follow-up question. Well, how do you guys feel about Blade?
It's awesome.
Never seen it.
I don't give a shit about comic book stuff, but I remember loving Blade when he kicks the syringe into Stephen Dorff and he blows up. That was so awesome.
All I've seen of Blade was in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Okay.
We should Triple H was in that one.
We should do a Blade film in 40s for the Blade trilogy.
I would love that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll watch Blade actually established that like 90s leather jacket club scene sort of vibe.
Pre-Matrix.
Pre-Matrix.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
and even had like a blood orgy thing, right? Before
there was like a blood raid for sure.
With like blood would fall down from the yes, that was the whole thing.
What's his face is in the second one also. God, what's his name?
Who?
Kojima's best friend. Norman Reedus.
Reedus, Chris Christopherson, Triple H, all the stars. Ryan Reynolds.
So my sort of trajectory with this game was it starts super strong. It's got a really good intro. I think as you're in the Vatican for the first, like I was doing the same thing as you, Dan, where it was like, I want to do all this stuff. All this stuff is really well done. And then I begin to feel like, okay, I realize I should be doing a lot of this stuff because there's ways to upgrade your character by finding these books, and they're all over the place, and there's dozens of them, it feels like. And all these quests like lead to getting the points I can use to unlock these books. So I'm like, at a certain point, I'm starting to feel an obligation to do these things, but I'm realizing I am just kind of going to a place, checking a box, going to another place, like doing another thing, flipping on a switch, not really doing a lot of puzzle solving that I thought was really intriguing at that point. And so it's like, okay, well, I'll start to wrap things up. And then there was a couple more hours of the Vatican after that. And I was like, okay. So I'm like, this is, it's dragging. It feels like it's dragging. And then get to Giza. There's an interstitial scene there where fun things happen. And that was good. Whenever it's like, okay, we're going to sort of put you onto the track of, here's the big Indiana Jones action sequence. It is impeccable. It is so good. And then you get to Giza. I'm like, oh, here we go again. It's going to be like that again. And it turned out, you know what? This is even better. This is actually a little bit better than the Vatican. There's even more fun stuff to do here. You can get in the Nazi uniform and join an underground boxing ring and things like that. And then that can lead you over to the Nazi camp. And there's fun things to poke around there. And I also began to like learn the sort of ebb and flow of the game, where it's like when I'm done, I should have been moving on quicker, and I did that. I moved the story along, and I was in Giza for much less time than I was in the Vatican, and then after that, it just goes. I'm not going to spoil anything.
Cool. Oh, I'm excited.
But it has the set piece is one of my favorite set pieces in any media ever. You step in there and you see this thing, and you immediately go, okay, first of all, I think I know what's happening with this MacGuffin now. Also, this is just an incredible image. And I think what they're suggesting is when I get up there to do this thing, I think I know what's going to happen. And when it does happen, it's so exciting. And you do like you were using your whip to get out of a bad situation. And it's just so cool. And then you immediately, zip off to another place where on the other side of the world. And that's an awesome action sequence. And it's bang, 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 bang. Super fast. And then by the time I get back to, all right, now we're in the sort of immersive sim, the Butcher's Bay Chronicles of Riddick style game of poking around the world. I'm ready for it now. I'm like, okay, they have figured out the pacing as this game has gone along in a really strong way. And so I'm completely on board with everything it's doing now. Cool. So it's a game that starts strong, might have some issues as people like learn it. Most people aren't having it. It was me, it sounds like, but I've learned how this game is operating. And now that I'm on its wavelength, I'm just like, yeah, I completely appreciate everything about this game right now.
Okay. That's okay. Well, now I'm flying out tomorrow. I want to like at least get past this like set piece stuff before I take off tomorrow. That'd be great.
Yes, it's very cool.
I'm not going to have the means to be able to play this before our own discussions, huh?
No, same. Sometimes the timing be like that.
Yeah, it just works out that way sometimes.
Well, final question for you two. Given the name of the game, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, does this qualify in the best hole category, or is it just a circle?
Oh, the circle itself being a hole?
No, because this circle circumnavigates the globe. There's no hole.
Well, no, there's a shoot circle.
And there's a shoot hole eventually too. You'll see that pretty soon.
Yeah, Mike, you don't know what you're talking about. You're out of your element.
Yeah,
Mike.
you're embarrassing yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw the trailer.
Yeah, you saw a trailer.
The circle does reference the
whatever. Nothing's gonna beat that fucking toilet hole full of shit that the Silent Hill 2 guy buries his hand inside of.
The first hole is pretty good. I got a hole that I think might win the best hole.
I'm excited. That's very enticing when you say it like that.
Sean, delete that.
With me,
we're gonna be in Los Angeles for a little too long,
Real quick, every time I hear a Wilhelm scream in this game, I'm like, there it is. I get pretty excited about stuff like that. All the sound design is so good, where it's just like they are completely lifting the meaty punch sounds and things like that. But,
have either of y'all ate a lemon? I saw online.
Oh, I've eaten so many lemons, and I've just like shoved like 5 things of bread in my mouth at once.
Yeah.
Scotty.
It's so fucking funny every time. Like all these stupid things you pick up to hit Nazis with. It's just like you'll pick up something that looks like a 3-hole punch or something. I don't know what the fuck this is, but and you're just beating the shit out of a guy with it. It's always sneaking up on behind. It's pretty forgiving with the stealth stuff, which I appreciate. And then you're just whipping the shit out of these guys.
Yep. I was completely dressed as a Nazi in their thing, so I had good stealth where I could just walk around however I wanted. But then I saw a Nazi on the other side of an elevator shaft, and I'm like, I can't even resist myself. So I just whipped him around the neck, pulled him down, and he just did the thing where he's about to fall, and then he fell down the elevator shaft. And then I did it while the elevator was coming up, so I could see his body all mangled. It was very good. It's just it's got some good juice all across everything it's doing.
Nice.
I feel so excited whenever it's like I'm walking around Egypt and there's like a quarry and there's just like a Nazi like standing by the cliff, just kind of looking down. It's like, if you click L3 and R3, you just shove. And so I just sprint up as in you just shove this Nazi off a cliff and like watch his head donk on the side of the cliff on the way down. And
awesome.
It's a good time.
It's really good.
I suspect we may hear more about Indiana Jones and the Great Circle because I think our own Lucy James said it might be her game of the year.
Several people saying that. Yeah.
Very into it. Yeah. Yeah,
I'm excited to hear and see more eventually, and I want to see this great hole.
Small things, you go in the cave, you have your lighter, and you start lighting deuses, and it's like, that's cool. That feels nice.
All those torches, and you just like when you have the torch, like it feels so good every time.
All the little stuff is really working and kind of builds on top to make a very good game.
It's fun when you get like the double-handed weapons and there's like a weak wall or something. You're just like beating the shit out of this wall to get to the other side.
And again, the sound design is just like it's triggering that part of my brain. I'm like, I remember that sound from the movie, and the big clump of the metal clanging against the wall, like when he's trying to break the ground and was it Temple of Doom?
Oh
in
Last Crusade. Yeah, the end.
And it's like that thumb. You hear that, and it's like, oh my god, they're just doing it. And that stuff can be like, oh, that's grating because they're trying to play on your sense of nostalgia. But here, it mostly just feels like no, they're picking from a menu of Indiana Jones isms in a way that makes a lot of sense and feels right.
And I love, like, I'll be sneaking around Egypt, and that's where they introduce like more dogs. And like, you don't have to kill the dogs. So it's, trying to be sneaky. A dog comes up and starts barking, and there's just a whip button, and you can just whip above the dog's head. Just like, yeah. It's just like, it's okay. The dog's backing down.
Dog becomes docile.
Yeah.
Same thing happens to me.
Yeah.
Bring a whip to LA.
That treatment usually though.
So maybe that's the last thing we should bring to Los Angeles. Anyway, folks, I think that about does it for games in the first segment. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with video game news. Now, all right. What if, Grub, you were just one row ahead of Mike? Will you wait for him then?
Okay. If I'm shooting, yes, of course. They're like that like I would just be like, tell the person next to me, go ahead, I'm waiting for him, and then we would walk off together. Okay. My thing was, I was like way in the front, he was way in the back, and there's a lot of people still to get off, and I'm just like, this is awkward. I'm just gonna go where I know we're both gonna be. So
now,
it sounds like I was incorrect, is what it's starting to sound like.
I feel like you two fly the most together out of everyone just because of like proximity, right?
But not as often as you would think. I take a lot of flights out of Pittsburgh instead.
When was the last time we did fly together? Was that right?
It was that.
Hacks?
Yeah, it was probably it might have been this trip last year for all I
well,
can remember.
I'm curious as to what is the etiquette when you guys like maybe are in different boarding groups and you pass each other as you're going to your seat. Is there like a polite, hey Mike, or hey Grub?
Well, that's a good question, because he would have to pass me because I have a United card, so I usually get at least boarding group 2. And so he just says hi, and he makes me feel like a good person.
We usually
makes me
do
feel like
this
a good
thing.
friend.
We usually just take pictures of each other's like back of the heads or the top of their heads
definitely
and
do
send them
that
to each other.
Yeah,
that's fun. Once we spot each other, that's always a goodie.
Fantastic.
It's funny because I don't really care about sitting in the same like row as Jeff, because
you're going to be asleep the whole time.
It doesn't matter.
Beautiful.
I'm not going to be able to entertain him.
Well, I need Jeff Grubb to entertain me with the news. This is the news for the show. Beep, 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 beep. Jeff Grubb.
Hi, all right, let's get into some news. Lego's doing a bunch of stuff. They got a Lego Fortnite thing called Brick Life, which looks like GTA Online with maybe a slight emphasis on role play, but definitely like you're gonna get a job in the game and you could collect stuff and have a house. Yeah, please, Jan.
Okay, two things. I said this during Game Mess. It should be called Bricked Up.
Of course.
I learned what that is because, like, when I Googled Cuddy Bangs, Jan,
Cuddy Bangs, yes.
I Google, I do research. I like to be knowledgeable of things. There was a time months ago when Dominic Mysterio and Rhea were still together, and Rhea was doing something like licking his face or whispering in his ear, and somebody in the crowd just goes, "Hey, Dom, we know you're bricked up." And I was like, what does bricked up mean? And I Googled it and was like, I see. Okay.
So tell us, what does it mean?
What do you think, Mike? You're a resident pervert.
You didn't want to like use context clues there, or you just wanted to be sure?
I thought it was like a cocaine thing, and I was like, "How is this a reference to cocaine?" I was like, "Oh, it's an erection thing." I see.
Yes,
The second thing, Grub, I was going to say is this can't be a proper Lego roleplay thing if people are actually talking. I need it to be like the first couple Lego games where it's just like vocal.
They should just have a button like to Turbo Terry's Turbo or Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip, where it's like blah,
good.
blah, 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 and you can just do that all the time.
People didn't talk about that game enough. That game was fun.
Yeah, it's a huge part of my life because my kids have been playing it nonstop and asking for help. So I've been playing a lot, and they're like, oh yeah, this game's definitely in my top 10. I love Tiny Terry.
I'm glad you talked about it because like I don't think it would have been like my purview if you hadn't talked about it. So yeah, everyone played Tiny Terry's Turbo Trip.
Turbo Trip. Yes, yeah, it's excellent.
Tease.
The other thing that they're doing, Fortnite is going to have a 5v5. They're doing Counter-Strike. They're doing Counter-Strike. It's called Ballistic, but they're putting Counter-Strike into Fortnite, and it's first person. And you start with a gun and $800, and if you kill people, you get money, and then you can use that money to buy better guns for the future rounds. It's Counter-Strike. There's one map because it's Counter-Strike. Yeah, them doing a bunch of different stuff inside of Fortnite has been what they've been doing for a while. This feels like them doubling down because both these things feel like stuff that could be pretty huge if they take off. So, yeah, but is this at all what you guys want for Fortnite? At the very least, like the skins you own will work in these things,
cool.
right? So, yeah, cool.
Me personally, no, but I can see some of the Valorant audience perhaps coming back to Fortnite because of this.
Sure.
Maybe. Because Valorant still has the strong sort of hero abilities and the hero characters. That was always its distinguishing thing from Counter-Strike. I was telling Jeff, it's hard when a genre already has two top dogs. We had that problem with MOBAs for a long time, right? With League of Legends and Dota 2. You had smaller successes. There were smites and other things.
If
like
Paragon was in Fortnite, do you think it would have done a lot better?
Yes, but maybe not that much better.
Yeah,
right?
That's kind of what I think for this as well. Exactly. This is definitely going to be better and bigger than Paragon, but will it be even as big as like Heroes of the Storm? I don't know. Maybe. But even that wasn't big enough.
That analogy, Jeff, I forgot that Epic's game right before Fortnite was a MOBA that didn't take off.
Exactly. Yeah. Either way, this is they have Fortnite as this big pillar. Their idea is let's make a metaverse surrounding all this stuff. So when you do make a purchase and you got to get a skin, it'll carry over and that'll keep people in our ecosystem. And that's very important to us as a free to play game. And I get it. And at a certain point, like you can only like attract so many more people to Fortnite because it feels like everyone's already played that game. So the path to growth is to get another new pillar that's just as popular. And listen, if I were in their situation and someone pitched these ideas, I'd be like, these sound like the best two scenarios to maybe get to that point. That doesn't mean they will succeed, but we'll see. All right. Suicide Squad's current season will be its last offline mode coming this week. Mike, I'm sure you're devastated.
Suicide Squad was fine.
Yeah. It came out earlier this year, right? This was
that was this year.
Wow.
That and Skull and Bones.
Skull and Bones.
And Concord.
Foam Stars came out this year.
A year for
was it this year?
Giant flops.
So.
Not just
it really
that
was.
kind of flops, but huge, monumental flops. Jeff has a little elf visiting right now.
Where's your sausage sandwich? I didn't eat it. Okay, so you don't get mad at me.
Walked up to Jeff.
I think it's on the counter. I'm sorry. Don't get mad. Everyone's hearing you be mad at me on the podcast, and they think it's very funny. I will help you during the next break. All right.
She walked. Oh, she just punched you. She walked up to. Oh, look at that! She is not happy.
Do you know what that pose is? What? That's Tiny Terry. That she's doing the Tiny Terry pose.
That's amazing.
God,
I could seem all right. I should have a kid.
You do.
Oh yeah, Steve. Oh, sorry, Steve. I forget about him.
I've mentioned this before, but like the Inside Out characters, like that are in charge of your brain, hers are anger, like just
anger.
Anger and anxiety. But
Lewis Black is inside her brain.
She's got a little Lewis Black in there yelling at me pretty much consistently.
Suicide Squad, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, what a game!
Surprised it got as many seasons as it did. They added 3 characters to this game. Why add any characters? That wasn't the problem.
Who else did they add besides the Joker?
Added the Joker. They added Mrs. Freeze, not Mr. Freeze, Mrs.
Right.
Freeze. And some other person. I read the name a moment ago and already forgot it. I didn't know who they were.
James Gunn. Weird.
Right. Yeah, James Gunn. But why not add? As somebody who hasn't even watched Suicide Squad, I could think of characters that why don't you add Peacemaker? I think people would like that, or that polka dot guy. I don't know.
Oh, I like the polka dot guy. I think the future of this game is, since it's getting its offline mode, which is going to make, you can play the story campaigns and post-launch content without an internet connection, which was a problem up to this point. People had to have an internet connection. People complained about that, but that means this game's going to work in perpetuity. I think we get like a couple years out, and people will go, "Hey, hidden gems from from 2000 or 2020 to 2025," and this will be on the list. I think people are like, "This is not that bad. You can play it offline now." I think that's
what you buy for $2 on a Steam sale, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's the word for like a little bit lesser than a gem?
Yeah. A diamond in the rough, or
no, that's even better.
That's
fool's gold.
Yeah, that's
Look, to be clear, when I defend this game, it's not done enthusiastically. So.
Oh yeah, it's very mild defense.
Yeah, take off your Joker cosplay then, Mike. Jeez.
Like it's still a game made by Rockstar. There's still some of that kind of high end fidelity stuff here and there. The shooting feels fine. A lot of weird choices. Even story-wise, right? Like, they just, don't do things that anybody would be happy about. Like, Poison Ivy's here, and the plot twist is she's a child. That's not fun or interesting. In fact, that makes me feel kind of weird, considering the ways that this character is usually presented.
Yes.
All sorts of just things like that. They're just kind of bizarre choices.
I've been picturing Minotti in the Heath Ledger Joker get up, and that was funny. And then I pictured full-on Jared Leto Joker, Minotti cosplaying that, and that's very
damage tattooed on his head.
Yeah, I never got over seeing that first still of the Jared Leto Joker.
No one did.
Won't be seeing that ever.
I don't know. Who knows?
There's Switch 2 rumors again. I'll just hit the quick hits here. Maybe could get announced in January or February. We know it's happening by March. By the end of March, we will have some sort of announcement, however that, whatever form that takes. Could get an event, maybe a launch event in May, because it could come out as soon as May or June. There's also some early peripherals that have started going up for pre-order. Although they don't explicitly mention the Switch 2, they do. It's a Switch 2 grip that would have to fit a Switch 2, and they say it's for future consoles. And
it's next generation ready.
Yeah, next generation ready. It's like, well, what the hell could you be talking about?
I can't believe they're already making peripherals for the PlayStation 6.
Yeah, there it is.
Mike, come on, dude.
So yeah, I mean, this Switch 2 coming out by May or June sounds plausible to me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
That makes sense. They got to start teasing that soon.
Yep.
Yeah, certainly. I think by mid-June, I would say.
Yeah, and it's like they don't need to wait to the holiday. If they have a Mario game ready to go, this thing's going to sell no matter what, right?
Oh, can you imagine? Just think about that, Dan. You're going to be playing the next, and no one's going to be able to dispute this time, mainline Mario game this summer.
Well, let's hold off until we see it, and then I will be I'm the arbiter of what mainline is.
It'd be so funny if it's like the most obvious next Mario game ever. You're still kind of like, I don't know.
No, there was never a question with Odyssey or Galaxy or anything, so I'm ready for the next one
from them. So
what if it just winds up being a Mr. Mosquito-like, but Mario?
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very excited, but it won't be mainline.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry I brought up that word. Yeah, we'll be playing Mario games. It's going to be great.
Yep, and we could be playing it within 6 months, so that's pretty wild. I don't think there's a chance that we get like a trailer before the end of the year, because we're talking about maybe something at the Game Awards, but there's just no chance Nintendo announces the Switch 2 at the Game Awards, right?
No. Also, there's some loose world news involving a prominent Nintendo character.
And Luigi was going to be a big part of their launch thing, so yeah.
What?
We don't need to talk about it. Mike, we'll sidebar.
Fine, Mike.
You remember when the Queen died and they had to delay Tears of the Kingdom? Luigi Mangione maybe threw some wrench in the works here for Nintendo.
All right,
that Luigi. Right.
You follow him on Twitter. You guys are good friends, right? So.
And I don't know him. Oh no! Look out, Jeff!
Oh no, what's happening?
Yeah,
doing the Tiny Terry dance. Yeah.
Did she find her sandwich?
Here, come here.
Where's my sausage sandwich?
I don't know. I put it on the counter.
Where?
I don't know. I will help you soon. Did you ask? Is Mama in a meeting? It's not in my top. Oh my gosh! If I ever eat this kid's food, she would kill me. Oh my god! She's attacking me anyhow.
What would she do if you abandoned her at an airport?
She would not whine as much as you do.
Bring it up on a podcast 6 months later.
I don't think so, no. I will get it after this. All right.
Right now.
All right. I'm gonna keep going here. I'm gonna push this kid's face away. There we go. Nintendo is reportedly porting another 3DS game to Switch this
Link
year.
Between Worlds, finally. Here we go.
Kirby Planet Robobot.
Oh.
Hey, Dan, I just showed you the joys of Kirby. This was one of the better ones.
I think
for
I
sure.
reviewed this at Game Informer, and it's fine.
Okay.
All right.
I think.
All right.
If I didn't review it, I played it definitely, and I thought it was fine. It's get Link Between Worlds on something.
I mean, Link
that
Between Worlds definitely, God, that would rule. But it's,
Yes.
God, that's maybe behind in the line to like Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. Would they do that first? They have that finished. So
I mean, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker would be easier.
right.
They already have good HD remakes. Yeah.
What, the 3DS games that they have ported to Switch, what are those?
Metopia.
Right.
It's not a ton.
They've
I feel
done
like
the
didn't they do one? Oh, Luigi's Mansion.
two
Luigi's
Dark
Mansion.
Moon. Yeah.
Two.
Yeah. Fuck.
I mean, there's
Never
games
did
that were ported to 3DS and then
Yeah.
over
Like
there.
Donkey Kong Country
Donkey
HD
Kong Country,
Returns.
yeah.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Not a
It's
ton,
like-
I guess.
Yeah, Samus Returns is still on 3DS. The
Yep.
Zelda game is even Super Mario 3D Land still on
Yeah.
3DS. Well, that's the thing we'll see a lot more of with the Switch too, especially
get-
now that the Wii U library is drying up a bit.
Good codename Steam.
Hell yeah!
Man, I was in that room when they announced that, and I was so excited. I love Intelligent Systems. It's the new Intelligent Systems game. It's got
Abe Lincoln
Abe
Tactics.
Lincoln in it, and I was like hot for that. And then
It's fine.
And then it's not. It's not even.
It's better
fine.
than Steel Diver if we're talking shitty 3DS games, first party.
And I would think
I
I'd
bet Jeff would
play
rather
Steel
play
Diver.
Steel Diver.
Yeah, man. Codename Steam is a bad game.
It used the nub. It used the new 3DS
did use the
XL
nub,
nub.
yeah,
It used
that's
the
right.
nub.
But it's a strategy game where basically all your decisions don't matter because it doesn't give you enough information to actually put any strategy into effect. So it's just bad. Ugh.
Yeah.
And it's super slow too. Like every
It is.
round
You have
will
to
take
wait
forever.
a long time for everyone's turns. Yeah,
And they
that drove me
updated
nuts.
to be faster, and it's still super slow.
Anyways,
Yeah.
what are they doing porting Planet Robobot before Triple Deluxe? They're just skipping a Kirby game. They already did Return to Dreamland.
Yeah,
You're
Return
not
to
gonna be able to
Dreamland
follow
was
the plot. It's out of order.
Yeah, exactly. Can't get
Return to Dreamland is like the first in that set of three that used the same
it's the
engine.
first with that engine, and then it was Triple Deluxe, which was the first 3DS one. It's also very good.
And also a
And then
well-reviewed
Planet
game,
Robobot.
yeah.
Yeah,
There's
well,
Mass
very well.
Attack. Was that DS?
That was DS. That was the
that was DS.
traditional, one that they just.
That
came
wasn't
out on.
traditional. You're a bunch of
Not
tiny little
traditional.
Kirby's in that one.
Weak Squad's the traditional one. Mass Attack is like there's a bunch of Kirby's, right?
Yep.
And then there was Rainbow Curse or Canvas Curse on DS.
Canvas Curse is my favorite Kirby game still.
Oh, well, it's
Well,
very
Campus
good.
Curse is awesome.
Yes.
I think to answer your question though, Mike, is I think Planet Robobot got it was pretty popular. Like I think it's one
It
that's sold very
definitely-
well.
It definitely stuck around people's minds more. People love playing. It has a great hook, right? Kirby and
Yes.
giant mechs. Great
Yep,
hook.
that's fantastic. All right, Tencent reportedly wants a greater say over Ubisoft as investment discussions continue. Basically, it breaks down this like this: Tencent already owns 10%. Ubisoft's in dire straits. Investors are not happy. So the plan is Yves Guillemot and his family will take a deal to Tencent and say, hey, you buy all the help us buy all the outstanding shares out there, and then we'll take the company private. But the Guillemot family, specifically Yves, but the Guillemot family will still have a majority control over Ubisoft, but then you'll be the minority owner and you'll have a little bit less than we will. And Tencent's going, why would we want that? You are the people that got this company into this situation in the first place. Why would we want to take this company private and let you maintain full control? Wouldn't we want, if we're doing such a drastic change, to change things? And seems to be the hang up here now on this thing. So it's odd.
Yeah, I don't want Tencent to own Ubisoft, but if they were going to buy Ubisoft, they would buy Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they could do that now. This is the anticipation of this has caused the stock price to go up for Ubisoft, but that's the only good news they have right now. Everything else, like there was a chart that went around in the last week of how much the companies make per employee. Like for every employee you have, how much revenue do you generate? And like EA was something like, for every employee that we have, we make around $500,000 to $600,000 in revenue. So you can imagine, like, you have an average wage of 125,000. Maybe that's generous. I don't know. There's a huge margin there where you can make a lot of money. Ubisoft was at like $95,000 per employee, which is pretty rough. They were at the bottom of the chart. They have a ton of people that they employ, and their games aren't selling. It's a recipe for disaster. So something does have to change. And right now, it seems like the thing they're hoping changes is Assassin's Creed Shadows will come out and sell a ton, and they're just hoping for the best there. And hey, I hope that game does well, but good luck. I just don't know. I think hoping for Assassin's Creed to change everything is probably not a great strategy. Last couple things here. The Thing Remastered is now available. Night Dive just basically dropped it out of nowhere. It was supposed to come out in 2024. It was getting near the end of the year. Everyone's going, is this actually going to come out? And then they just released it. Boy, I love Night Dive, all their work. And the word is, this is awesome. The word is they did another great job on this game.
Did you play this back in the day?
I feel like I remember playing it, but I don't remember. I must have emulated it or something.
Is it meant to be? I'm trying to remember. Was it like a new story, like in that world, or is it like Kurt Russell? Or are they trying to be like with the movie?
Set shortly after the events of the 1982 John Carpenter film, players assume the role of Captain Blake, a U.S. Army Special Forces captain investigating the disappearance of a research team in Antarctica.
Okay, I'm curious to check it out because I did recently watch The Thing again, and I'm just a whole new appreciation for that movie right now. So I would love to see a video game take on that.
What do you feel about They Live?
They Live is really good. The idea of They Live is more interesting than watching it. I love just the theme and just
that's fair.
The visuals are really cool and everything. It's just like it doesn't really build to like a super exciting ending or anything like that, but I like it a lot.
I think that's a fair because I was going to say I think about that movie all the time, which is another way of saying what you said. So it's like yeah.
No, I'm very glad it exists. It's just not like the most exciting John Carpenter rewatch,
Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
Boy, John Carpenter rules.
I'm not a big horror guy, but I saw The Thing for the first time not this Halloween, but last Halloween.
Oh, so
I really liked it, and I wanted to go back to this game, and like they announced this remaster right around then. I'm like, well, that's convenient. So I definitely want to get to this. I bet I'm going to enjoy it a lot.
That does remind me. Do we have a best old game category for like
We've
remakes and
like
remasters?
Oh, so I can nominate something again, and then everybody just like.
It didn't win. There's one you
Mike,
liked.
I think I had your back
glove
on that.
Yeah.
I don't think you did. You immediately joined the.
No, I think I had your back. I think I was defending you from Bacalar. Yep. And so this is why I leave you on planes because you don't even remember when I stick up for you.
Wow.
Wow.
We don't have a best old game category. Should I just call it best old game?
Yeah, best old game. Because there's a bunch. I was like doing some stuff out in the yard, and I was thinking about a bunch. I'm like, we should do that, and then
especially Thousand Year Door, which you definitely have been finishing, right, Jeff?
Yeah,
I'm putting that down. Paper Mario. Is this a remake, remaster?
I think it should be all of it. Like. Any way that an old game popped back up, even if it's just something you played that's old, and then if it will just have to like go up against actual remasters and remakes. And if we get enough and we want to spread it out into two different categories, we can.
No, I kind of like the idea of lumping remakes in with old games we played.
I think so. Yeah.
Paper Mario. Yeah.
I feel bad about not getting to Riven. Apparently that was very good. So Silent Hill 2 then, I guess, would be here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Man, that's a good one.
Okay.
What I do each year around this time is I go through my Steam and I sort by release date, and then I just add everything to a list called Game of the Year 2024. And so I'm gonna see if I put a bunch on there real quick.
Persona 3, Dragon Quest 3.
Nerd games on here.
Yeah.
Dan, if you have the time, could you add Peggle 1 and 2? Just because I just love Peggle 1 and 2.
I just added Zelda Wind Waker HD since I beat that this year.
Okay.
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 We'll find out if Wind Waker is better than Peggle.
Yeah,
Finally.
I think the ones that you just happen to play this year they're eligible. I think they're going to have a harder time of winning the category.
I'm going to say that there's a strong likelihood of Tam nominating Bloodborne.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Well, I'll let him do that if he wants to bring it up, but I'm just going to go ahead and put Legacy of Kain on here.
Yeah, I need to.
That's right. Get him to war with himself.
That's the way. Yeah, divide and conquer.
Okay.
Add Killing Time: Resurrected.
Okay.
That's
Epic Mickey.
Yeah, is the PO'd remake this year?
Yes, it was.
Yes.
Tomba.
Another Night Dive joint.
Oh, Tomba, yeah.
Tomba, okay.
I feel like there was. I think I had
Beyond
one
Good and
more.
Evil got remastered.
Oh yeah,
it's actually very good.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah, I feel like I'll think of more as we go. Anyway, I'm glad we did that because I was.
It's on there now. It's in the doc. So go to town.
Awesome. All right,
Beautiful.
and then last thing here, people are hyping up the Game Awards. Jess Corden joined Tom Ward and Andy Robinson to be like, "Hey, this thing's gonna be really exciting."
It's because we're gonna be there.
Yeah.
What do you guys? Yeah. What do you guys? Yeah, I think they're excited about us. I think that's what it is. Well, what do you guys think it could be?
Well, I don't know. We'll see gameplay of something we weren't expecting to see. There has to be one shadow drop, right?
Yeah, there could be. Yeah, probably. And then
Silk Song.
Maybe Silk Song. Tom
my
Warren and
God.
Jess Corden are guys that like follow a lot of Xbox news. You think it could be like Perfect Dark?
Perfect Dark.
Yeah. Something on
Crimson Skies.
yeah.
Bloodwake.
Killer Instinct is back.
Blinks the Time Sweeper.
Cell Damage.
Oh, damn. I would really like a Crimson Skies. I care about that.
Twisted Metal. I feel like there was did that get canceled? There was like a Twisted Metal they were talking about like a couple years ago.
Yes.
It's just gone now. Okay.
Yeah, so it started at one studio, and that studio released Destruction All Stars, and then they're like, "Well, we're going to move it to this other studio," and I think it was going to be free to play under Destruction All Stars devs, and then they moved it to another studio, and then it got canceled to that studio. Yeah, how it went. That show, people like that show.
Yeah.
It's supposed to like be, a synergy with that, and yeah, it's not going to happen now. It seems like.
Damn.
All right. Yeah. I don't know what else to think about the Game Awards. Like, what could be a big announcement? I am very happy to just go and watch this thing though, and let things surprise me. And I hope it, like, usually at this time everyone's going, don't get your hopes up too much. Jeff can only control so much, and now everyone's going, no, forget that noise. Let's get nuts about this one. So I hope it lives up to
Resident
expectations.
Evil time.
That one seems very possible.
It's been a bit, hasn't it, since Village?
Yeah,
and
Resident 4 came out last year. They released.
There was talks of Resident Evil 9 getting debuted over the summer, right? So it would be ready to show off by now, I would imagine. All right, that's what I have for headlines. Yeah, kind of a short and sweet one this week, as we have this weird episode. Handing the show back to you, Jan.
Thank you, Jeff Grubb. It's never a weird one because we're the weird ones.
That's right.
Folks, we've got a baby's handful of emails that we're going to read to you right after this quick little break. Emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. You can send an email about virtually any and everything. You want to avoid a potentially awkward social interaction, send an email to the Bombcast. If you have a question about hardware or suggestions you want about video games, hit up your boys. We got answers for you, or we will just have more questions for you. Speaking about questions, first email of this episode is a quiz. And quizzes involve a lot of questions. This comes from Nathan in Vancouver. Nathan writes in honor of the end of the $2 billion grossing Eras Tour, I've attached 10 question quiz for the GB crew to test their lyrical knowledge and identify if the lyrics are from a video game or Taylor Swift.
$2 billion?
Yeah.
$2 billion, yeah.
You hear about this Eras Tour thing? It was a big deal.
I see. I think Nikki Glazer's gone to like basically most of those shows, so that's on her Instagram, basically.
I feel bad I didn't go now. Like, I should have just gone to one of these.
Hey,
it seems like it was important.
I'm I'm kind of like a Swiftie, but like, honest to God, probably one of the best shows I've ever been to.
Wow.
Nathan continues, to the best of Google's knowledge, each of the video game songs included were originally written for the game. The order of the questions are randomized, and Jan can award bonus podcast points if the crew guesses the game or Taylor Swift era associated with the lyrics.
I'm going to know neither of these unless it's the Snake Eater song.
We're not going to go that deep.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
Yeah. I'm going to abstain from this quiz because I think I know all the answers. But, quote number 1, video game or Taylor Swift, this is my last chance to hold onto hope before it slips away.
That sounds like a Kingdom Heart.
I don't think it's Kingdom Hearts. This is one of the 3 songs I don't
I'm going to say
right.
video games.
I'm going to say Taylor Swift then.
Okay. Dan, you said video game?
Mm-hmm.
It is a video game from Persona 5.
Yeah, of course. I was about to say that.
I'm embarrassed.
Okay. Second quote.
You kept?
Oh, shoot. You kept me like a secret, but I kept you like an oath.
That sounds
Taylor Swift.
That sounds Swifty.
Yeah, that just very much rings like Taylor Swift to me.
Don't know what
Taylor
era.
Swift it is.
Yeah.
From the Red era.
Oh.
Okay.
Are they all
When
colors?
everything fades away, your voice still echoes in my heart.
Taylor Swift.
I felt like a Swift to me. It could easily be some game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Taylor Swift as well.
It is a video game near Automata.
Really? Damn.
Fourth one. The lights are so bright, but they never blind me.
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
I need to make up ground. Video game.
Taylor Swift.
Shit.
Any guesses for the era, gentlemen?
Blue.
Silver and gold.
Nope, 1989.
Sapphire Ruby.
By era, they do just mean album, right?
Yes.
Well, they already had a word for that. Huh.
But it's not enough. It's not enough for Taylor, you know?
Huh.
Fifth one. Like shadows in the dark, I see you, but can't hold on.
That sounds like a video game.
I'm gonna go with video game.
They're all anime games, it seems.
It is indeed a video game. Final Fantasy 15.
Anime game.
Oh wow.
15 had a song. I thought it just had "Take on Me."
We'll make it through the storm, no matter where we are.
Taylor Swift.
I'm gonna go video game.
Okay.
I think Swift.
It is video game. Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
They should do lyrics like the rap at the end of Gears of War that the Coltrane sings,
Oh,
or
hell
the Rogue Warrior one with Mickey Rourke rapping.
Oh, is that like one of the things the bird guy sang? I guess he wouldn't explain that.
There were no words in Zelda ones, right?
Yeah, but in Breath of the Wild, it was that bird that played the
the post office
accordion.
bird.
Yeah. Well, no,
By the
that's the second one. Yeah.
Oh, right.
important, I did not mean "Take on Me." I meant "Stand by Me" with that Final Fantasy 15 joke. My bad.
Oh.
Next one.
I was working on that for a while. I was like, that's not right.
The next one is, and the skeletons in both our closets plotted hard to mess this up.
Ghosts and Goblins.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Taylor.
Yeah, it's Taylor. That's gotta be Taylor. Come on.
It is indeed Taylor. The Speak Now era. Last three here, boys. Video game or Taylor Swift. I've been living in a dream, but it's not what it seems.
So,
Game.
Yeah, I'm gonna go video game as well.
I gotta go Taylor.
Well, Mike, you're wrong because it is a video game. Kingdom Hearts.
You're getting kind of crushed.
It's Kingdom Hearts. Say it again.
I've been living in a dream, but it's not what it seems.
I was gonna say that sounds like Kingdom Hearts too. I'm like thinking, oh, okay, that's incredible.
It's from the song Sanctuary.
It's from Sanctuary. That's my favorite one.
I don't know if it is then, Mike.
It's my favorite now. That belongs to me.
I'm like trying to listen. I'm trying to place that in the song. I'm even singing off Sanctuary now. They don't say that. Is it the part they sing backwards? Because that's cheating.
Final two here. In the silence of the night, whispers guide the way.
Taylor Swift.
Video game.
Swift.
It is a video game. Fire Emblem Three Houses. And the final one, Taylor Swift or video game. I polish up real nice.
I'll go with Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
I think that this one's a trick question. I think it's Bob Dylan.
It's both.
It's actually Timothy Chalamet. It is Taylor Swift, but the song is called Bejeweled. So it's a fun.
It was a trick question. I was kind of right.
Mike, you can redeem yourself and win this whole game if you can identify the era that song is from.
Okay.
Her Game Gear era.
Well, I know there's a Red era. I know there's a 1989 era. Dead Poet Society era.
Nope. It is the Midnight's era.
Damn.
All right. We got to get on out of here. So maybe two more emails.
It's not Dead Poet Society. What's that album called?
Tortured Poets. Tortured Poet Society.
Tortured Poet Society. You understand my confusion.
Come on,
Captain, my captain.
All right. Next email comes from Phil in Calgary. A very Canada-rich email segment. Hello, Bomb friends. I need your expert advice. At my workplace, I've been pulled into a secret Santa gift exchange that I didn't really want to be a part of. Being the only one who said no felt worse than just joining in. What do you recommend for a gift under $50? Possible gift receivers are men and women, ages from around 30 to 55. Hope you can help. Phil in Calgary.
Stink bombs.
One of those cheap Amazon Chinese video game handhelds.
Nice salt.
Wow, these all sound terrible. They're getting better, I have to say, I guess. Gosh, I don't know. $50, huh? $50. How far does that get you anymore these days? Kind of rough.
Can we do a Secret Santa? I know we don't have any time. Time. No, but what if we like just did it?
A $5 limit.
Listen up, Duke's Cannon. They make a bar of soap called a lump of coal, so it's kind of Christmas themed and funny.
Definitely have seen it 3 times, and every time I'm like, I got to get that for Mike. Every single time.
Yeah, it's good.
We should do a Secret Santa, maybe $20 limit, and we can only shop at that overpriced candy store.
No Spencer's Gifts.
Okay, everyone gets dildos.
Yeah.
They sell
Those
dildos
are
at Spencer's Gifts?
Oh yeah.
I thought
What?
it was just like
That's
fun.
the only thing I think about with Spencer's Gift.
I haven't been in 20 years.
All I think about is dildos.
All I think about Spencer's Gifts is like bad punny T-shirts and like posters of a wizard with a
black
8 ball.
posters.
Yeah.
You ever made it back to the dildo section?
No, I was probably afraid of it. I thought I was going to get
If you
arrested.
look around and you can't see the dildo section, it's because you are the dildo section.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Is that a new thing or have they always been in the dildo business?
No, they've always been
They
there.
were
Really?
the dildo
Yeah.
business, brother.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
I
just
remember
like
it had,
how Don
sex
Quixote's.
dice, where it's like, oh, kiss balls or whatever, like on the dice. But I didn't know they did straight up shoot dildos.
They straight up shoot dildos.
Your Secret
That's the
Santa
SSD.
person. Get them a Magic 8 Ball. I feel like that'd be a fun goof in
I like
2024.
Magic 8 Balls.
SSD.
That's what that means. I don't know that's what Genki's
That
making
sounds
now.
like what the dildo gun in Saints Row would be called. The SSD.
Yeah, straight up shoot dildo.
Yeah.
I don't think we helped Phil out that much.
Oh, he's good.
Get that bar of soap. But I mean, that's not super close to 50 though. It might be a little cheapish.
Stink bombs,
Definitely
they still
don't-
sell them.
Definitely
Candles?
don't get a lump of coal for your coworker. That's something you get for someone you're like cool with. What is Mike?
Oh,
talking
come
about?
on. They go get it's not actually a lump of coal. It's a bar of soap. It's
But
funny.
if you
but
get
then,
something
like-
worth actually $50, you're gonna look like a real jerk.
Yeah, God, $50 is a lot for a company
Um,
Secret Santa buy. Like, what are you? A stockbroker? $50.
What are you, a CEO?
Yeah.
Get
Maybe
a waffle
like
maker.
like a
Well, get
nice
a Mickey Mouse waffle maker.
No, those,
Mm,
those
okay.
are
Get an Elmo toaster. I bought some of those.
yeah, a thermos perhaps.
Yeah,
Like
a Zojiru. I feel like a Zojirushi
Yeah.
these days is over 50 though.
Like a nice Zojirushi. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
like a smaller one, so you don't
Okay.
get like yeah.
go to like Barnes and Noble, whatever, get one of those like overpriced coffee books, but they're on sale, right? About space or the Beatles or something. That's fine.
A copy of Rising Zan Samurai Gunman.
That was about $50, wasn't it? Yeah.
Or go to the local dollar store and load up on DVDs, and that's hours of entertainment.
Get a lot of old copies of EGM for $50 off eBay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Shipping
you
would
could
be a
get
lot.
70
Magazines are hard
yeah.
to ship.
Yeah, that's true.
Just go get the scratch off tickets. Get 2 20s and a 10. There you
It's
go.
always a good
$50.
one. Yeah.
I'd actually enjoy that.
I got
like-
one of those for AJ Minotti's birthday once. Forgot to give it to him. Scratched it off myself months later. Won $100 and then forgot to ever cash it in, and then it expired.
Well, that's yeah.
Awesome. Fuck yes.
What?
Have you-
Will you
have you-
stop torturing me and my family?
Does DJ know about this?
I only will now.
Oh,
You
that's
owe him
amazing.
$100.
Yeah, I feel like I owe
I don't know if he
$100.
owes him $100.
It's
Incredible.
funny though. It's funny.
Grub, that's the difference between me and you. By the time I was done scratching that off, I'd be speeding back to the gas station. to cash that in.
I kept it like in my glove compartment. I'm like, I'm gonna cash that in. I have $100. Not gonna give that to AJ.
Oh,
and then I
man.
forgot. And I think that was myself punishing myself.
I mean,
Incredible.
do those expire? Do you have to cash them in a certain point?
I
It
think
said you have to cash it in with like 180 days or something like that. So
that makes sense.
half a year. I waited
5
more
years
than half a
ago.
year.
Oh man, what if the Game Awards were just getting into smoking cigs and scratch off tickets? Anyway, next email.
Man, be real step energy.
Comes from Matt in Australia. Second and last email of the show. Hey, GB crew, all the milk talk in recent months has me baffled. Here in Australia, drinking milk as an adult is totally normal. In Victoria, we have the brand Big M, which advertises itself towards adults. You can see some of the TV commercials on their marketing website. Some of the promotional flavors they've had in past include banana split, honeycomb, and salted caramel. My question is, if you had to design a flavored milk drink you would actually drink, what would it be? With love, Matt in Australia.
Orange creamsicle milk is really good. There's a place in Kansas City that does that. It's really good.
Just
pecan milk.
Just give me horchata. Ooh. I love horchata.
People in this commercial are drinking. They're having like summer fun, and they have a cooler full of milk, like it's a Bud Light commercial. This is another planet to me. It's like the whole joke of Anchorman, where he like is dying in the heat, and he drinks milk, and he's like, "Oh, milk was a bad choice."
Yeah,
like that. I'm like, yeah, that's funny because it's very, very true. It'd be a terrible choice on a hot summer day, and all these people look like they've never been happier.
Boy,
this is bizarre.
It's not even a milk mustache in one of these. It's just a whole milk beard.
Yeah.
What are they even milking down there?
Spiders.
Wait, do they have cows?
Delicious spider milk.
Actually, they do have cows in Australia. Right? They have cows down there.
Yeah, of course they have cows.
When I think of Australian animals, it takes a while till I get to cows, but they have
them. Wow. Apparently there was this thread of like only one flavor of Big M can stay, and that was quite the predicament. Anyway,
creamsicle milk.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, it's super good. It's a company called Chateau, and they do like root beer flavored milk. They do orange creamsicle. It's all super good. When I was down there for the Extra Life conference, I was like, holy shit, I haven't had this in like 20 years, and it's so damn good.
I think my problem is the milk.
Yes, exactly.
So anything you add to it is not going to get rid of the milk.
I don't like the texture. Sure. I don't like the flavor. I just don't like milk. Gross.
Looks good. I don't ever go out of my way to have it, but when I have it, I'm like, yeah, all right, that's fine. I put it in my what did I put it in? Oatmeal to make oatmeal. Yeah.
Sure. I don't like lactose free, and I put it in my cereal, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't like cereal. Thick drinks. I like milkshakes.
You don't like milkshakes?
I don't like milkshakes. I'll just give me ice cream. What is this watered down ice cream?
You ever have almond milk? That's what I have.
Yeah. I'm fine with almond milk.
Yeah, it's good.
Thank you, everyone, for sending an email to the show. We probably have one more real official Bombcast in the year, and I'll try and throw those in there. The last email of this show, sorry, emailer, I don't have your name written here, but they write in, Dear Giant Bomb, Jan and Grub are cool. Dan and Mike are not. Parentheses, if they try and say otherwise, it makes them even less cool.
I've never considered myself cool.
I mean, no, me neither.
Yeah.
I think I'm real cool.
Yeah, I think I'm cool. I think I've just come to terms with it. This is going to lead into the heel turn.
You are cool, Jane.
You are cool, Jane.
I think you three are also cool.
I don't like having someone tell me I'm not cool.
Well, you're being kind of uncool about it, actually.
Yeah. I'm cool.
Folks, that does it for emails, and that does it for the show. Once again, a quick reminder, Giant Bomb at night this Wednesday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Grub's got a whole bunch of guests lined up, and we're going to have a fun time on the couch. And then we're also going to have a fun time counting down to the Game Awards with our homies from GameSpot. A lot of fun segments planned out there. We're going to be holding down the fort. These boys are going to be looking so fresh, so clean out there in their new their proper formal wear. We will also be making a mad dash to a conference room or my hotel room to be talking over the Game Awards.
Has that been figured out yet?
I'm doing that. We're doing it, but I have yet to figure out where.
Hell yeah.
A lot of like when did the Mario trailer reaction just on the steps of a place in New York City?
And that was fun. That
was fun.
I like that.
Meanwhile, Rory's just fiddling around with a newspaper next to us and not paying any attention.
Just a random old man.
And as well, have we announced to people the other things we're doing Friday, Saturday? I don't think we have.
I think we've loosely talked about it.
I've mentioned it on one Game this morning, I think today.
Okay, so we'll just say it here, folks. We're not having a big stage show to conclude Game of the Year this year. We will be pre-recording in person in Los Angeles our Game of the Year deliberations. Do not worry. We have a bunch of fun categories lined up, and we will also be crowning our Game of the Year. Take your bets now. Start placing your bets now, folks. See who's going to influence the betting odds. Boys, anything else to say before we get on out of here?
I don't think so. We'll do that stuff out over the next couple of weeks. There will be Game of the Year lists from our friends and stuff like that. So, if you're a friend, you're hearing this, you're running out of time. Hit me up. We'll get you on the website with a list and all that good stuff.
Is it the Disney stuff? Is that why I'm not cool?
That's a big part of it.
Well, I mean, maybe it's because you haven't had an erotic dream.
Yeah, all the cool dudes are having erotic dreams.
Yeah, whatever erotic dreams. Okay, I'll try it tonight. I'll think.
Okay,
I'll stop that.
That's terrible. I don't want to think about have an erotic dream. Jesus Christ!
I feel like focusing really hard.
I'm trying to think of like the coolest dude, and my head went to John Moxley. If it suddenly turned out that he was a big Disney adult, I think it'd be like, oh, we were wrong about him.
He's a wrestler, and wrestlers really love the parks, though, Dan.
Well, yeah, they're like Johnny Garganos and stuff of the world, not the cool
Cody
ones.
does.
You know?
Cody Rhodes does.
Cody's a big dork.
Yeah.
It's cool.
All right, gents, I can't wait to see your lovely faces in sunny Los Angeles tomorrow. By the time you're listening to this podcast, we will all probably have touched down and are getting the ball rolling. Special shout out, as always, to the one and only Emma Fife. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
Thank you so much, Emma.
Thank you so much, Emma. Thank you so much to you listening at home. We're almost done for the year, guys. What the shit? December 9th. I hope this kid finds her sausage sandwich, by the way.
She's not come back down to attack me, so she must have.
All right. Folks, he's been Mike, he's been Dan, he's been Grub, I've been Jen. And I love